Welcome to the Rick Helps Real Estate Show, where after a while, the little voice in your head says, why am I watching this? Welcome to day number 2. Arizona real estate market update. Let me tell you what the goal of this channel is. The goal is to help you and I get more educated on what's actually going on with the numbers, because we all see the YouTube videos, crashes coming, foreclosure wave is coming, going to be the best year ever. So we both need to be armed with information exactly what's happening, because people ask me, and I'm sure they ask you too, how's the real estate market? Man, it's really hot. You must be killing it. A lot of people don't really know that there just aren't enough homes for sale. So it's hard to kill it if you can't find a home for sale. So I get asked that question all the time. It's like, oh man, the market's really hot. Is it? Well, you get to, not to be a policy wonk or anything, but you get to say, well, actually, it's kind of rough out there when it comes to trying to find a home. So you're going to see these numbers and you're going to know what's going on. Today, we're going to do a little bit of a deep dive into the luxury market all over the valley and see what's out there. I thought I'd drift off just a second here and have some fun. You all saw that guy with the Viking hat that stormed the Capitol, and he's in deep doo-doo and everything. Well, I met that guy. I went down to the Trump rally with my GoPro. Well, my intention was to, do one of those interview on the street things with all the people standing in line, and then go to the Democratic, rally as well. But they canceled that one because of COVID, so I was only able to go to the Trump one. So I got to show you something here. I'm going to share the screen. And I'm going to get quicker at this, I promise. There he is. What they didn't tell you, what nobody knows, is it was a hot summer day there, and that guy stunk to high heaven, and he was weird. I asked him, I said, does your girlfriend like it when you sleep in that hat? So anyway, had a pretty good time. So yesterday we talked about inventory, and inventory hits a number on Monday. We're below the 5,000 unit mark, and I think we were 4,977 yesterday. And I predicted we'd probably be 150 to 200 units lower this morning. So let's take a quick peek into, let's see, there it is right there, where we're at today. Going to share the screen again. So hold on to your hats here. Here we go. We're going to go into the MLS. Now, it shows here we have 9,486 homes available, but that means that's active, under contract, contingent, and CCBS, which is contingent upon buyer sale. I only look at active. So if we track active, what's the magic number? Worse than we thought. We thought we'd come in at 4750. And we're sitting here at 4642. That is bleak. I got a video coming out this afternoon about 11:30 that I made last night that basically says, what if we run out of houses? Is it possible? And you know what? If you look at this number and you look at how many homes we're selling on a weekly basis, which is this one here, as of yesterday, we had 3,789 homes come under contract. I mean, listed, and 3,954 go under contract. So we whittled away 165 homes. But look at some of these other numbers here. 405 homes went under contract. Make that a little bit bigger for you than what actually came on. 411, 494, 478. At this rate, we're totally out of homes in 18 weeks. Mathematically, it's possible. Realistically, I don't think so. That's why I have this chart that I look at, because I want to see where it is in relationship to past weeks. And it's a 7-day moving average. The blue line shows the number of contracts that come up, and the golden yellowish line shows the number of homes that went under contract. So think of this as sales and this is listings. That's exactly what it is. So you compare and say, well, sales are actually creeping up. They are keeping pace with the listings that are coming on. You will not see prices come down until these charts reverse themselves, until the blue line gets considerably larger than the golden line. Don't expect a price decrease. It's just not going to happen. Now, what kind of things are going to cause the blue line to get larger than the yellow line? It's going to have to be some kind of what I call an interruption in credit or financials. There has to be something that disrupts the mortgage industry and disrupts banking in general. A lot of things out there could do it. Don't have anything specific. I do have a past client whose job is he monitors banks for the Fed. He analyzes banks. I reached out to him about the month of May and said, hey, anything out on the horizon that you think we need to be aware of? Anything keeping you up at night? And he said, not yet, but it all depends on how long this economy remains shut down. So I'm going to reach out to him again because that was in May. We certainly didn't think we'd be shut down in a few spots nationally and globally like we are now in February, for crying out loud. So that's an interesting thing. Now, I did go in and I did look at the Cromford report this morning, and I did find months of supply in housing. And this shows you that down here in the 225,000 to 250K and 250 to 275 says 0.3. That means there's only a 3-week supply of homes. If no other homes came on the market, all that existing inventory would be gone in 3 weeks. So you can see that it kind of edges up. 350 to 400,000, we have like a 6-week supply of homes. This one down here is a little bit larger simply because the ones that are 100 to 125 are they're modular homes. They're it's junk. So, but you get in the 1 million to 1.5 million, and you've got a 1.9, almost 2 months supply. That's really low. That used to be somewhere from 6 months to a year of supply. That market doesn't turn that fast. Over 3 million, there's a 6-month supply. 2 to 3, 5.8. Now, if I go into our news and commentary section, see if Cromford has anything new for us to look at this morning. They don't. This is a Cromford market index that I look at. Again, I say normal is 100, and that means it's a balanced market. Prices will not come down until the Cromford market index reaches 90. We have a long journey, my friends. Chandler 769, Avondale's 837, Fountain Hills 571, Scottsdale 518, Paradise Valley 295. So we have a long way to go before we reach what we can call normal. And I'm not sure anybody really knows what normal's about. When I go to my Mortgage News Daily this morning, I don't see any news that jumps out and rocks my world. Let me check here on the news section. And let's see the homepage. As this is a bounce I've been waiting for, they're looking at the bond market. Some of this is just inside mortgage stuff, but every once in a while you'll reach a headline that is worth reading. So let's go in and let's take a look at the luxury market. So what I want to do is I want to do a list price between 800,000 and 1 million. And let's see how many that there are in our market. There are 258. And this is where they concentrate. So you can see there are a few around the South Mountain area. There's a few down here in Chandler. Large concentration up here in Scottsdale. And in, so let's take a look up in this little market right here in Scottsdale. Let's take a peek and see what's there. Kind of an example of what you can get between 8 and 1 million up in the Scottsdale area. So you know that Scottsdale has higher prices in Paradise Valley than most of the markets. And there's actually some, $1 million condos up there too. So here's one for 850 in Scottsdale. See what you get. Certainly a nice looking home. It was built in 1997 and it's been on the market for 6 days. Go down a little bit further and crank up the price a little bit. Here's one for $899 and it has been on the market for 112 days. What's interesting, what I like to look at too, and let's go back and change the search a little bit, because you're wondering, well, is there a bidding market in this? If I see something for $899, do I offer them 9.25? Do I offer them $850? Well, let's look and see what's closed in the past 30 days. So we're going to go back 1 month and let's see what happens. So we have this list here. So we have 52 that have sold in a month. That's pretty good. Here's one for $795. Okay. So let's take a look and see what happened. They were asking $838 and they sold it at $795. Now we can't, the smart realtors don't tell anybody what the sales price is until it closes. So let's say we got an offer for $795. We're not going to say, hey, yeah, it's under contract for $795, and then it falls out. Well, you're never going to get $838 again if that's the case. So the sales price isn't posted until it closes. So here's one for $800,000 in Scottsdale. We'll take a look at the detail tab again, and we'll look. They were asking $800, sold it for $800. Here's one for $810 in Scottsdale. Love that view. And they were asking $830, sold for $810. Conquistadores Drive, this one here, $830,000. They were asking $850, sold for $830. Are you seeing any bidding wars out there? I haven't bumped into one here yet. So let's try another area of town. So let's go down. Let's get rid of this little square here. Let me just move it. And I'm going to edit the shape. Let's go down to, let's go down to this area in Gilbert, Chandler and see what happens. There we go. And forgive me if I don't see. I got to jump into the questions here. What part of the valley is the hottest area for activity? The East Valley right now. East Valley is definitely killing it. So let me get back to my chart here. And forgive me, when I'm on full page here and I'm going through this stuff, my answers to your question is going to be a little bit delayed because I can't see them. I'm hiding the screen here. So here's one for $770. Here's Musket Way, $820 in Chandler. And is this, let me look here and see. These are closed. Okay. So these are closed. So let's look and see what their pricing activity looks like. They asked $879. It sold for $820. Let's see. There's a beautiful one here, Grandview Avenue in Tempe, and it was $859. Sold for $859. Again, I'm not seeing people bidding up in that price range. Sales are brisk, but they're not nuts. $885. Sold for $890. That's great. Here's one in Queen Creek. Love these drone photography. 1,100,000 sold for $922, folks. Pretty nice. So that tells you a little bit. Now let's edit the search. Let's jump up a notch here. Let's take a look at what's available in the 1 million plus range in the valley. So we're going to go here to list price. And I'm going to go 1 million. Sometimes I put in too many zeros. I'm going to get rid of this. Well, I can get rid of this rectangle. How many houses do we have that are over $1 million? Click. Come on, you can do it. It's messing me up here. Oh, let's say 4 million. Maybe it wants me to put in the top. There we go. 939 homes. Here's the list. So here's one for 1 million. It's active. It's a new listing. This is one of those condos up on Kierland. You've probably seen the buildings before, the real tall ones, beautiful looking. And they're Their homes are spectacular. They've got that rooftop pool, and those are neat places. They got a lot of amenities. So the HOA, this place is going to be absolutely nuts. Let's take a peek just for giggles here. What is their HOA? Only $784.19 a month. That's fabulous. Here's one way out in Gold Canyon for $1 million. And it has been on the market for 1 day. Let me know if you want to see it today. We'll hop on out there. And so the market is got a lot of variety to it. Let me just quickly jump again to look at prices here and see what they're getting. I'm going to go closed because we're in the $1 million mark here, and I'm going to see what's happened. So let me go up a little farther and scroll around and look. Here's one that's in Scottsdale, $1,010,000, and it went for the asking price, $1,099,000 to $1,010,000. Here's one. This is Queen Creek. This went $1,001,000, $1,030,000. Now, sometimes they just kind of do that to help offset their closing costs. So if you see them going up slightly higher. So the real point in luxury, I mean, here's one in Gilbert for $1,001,000. This one went $1 million. Yeah, same. I think it went up $1. And Tempe closed here over 1 million. 1,003,000, 1,005,000. So what it's showing me, and it's just kind of a broad brush, what it's showing is that you're not seeing a large number of homes that are going above their asking price like you do in the 350, 400,000 range. That is because that's where the knockdown drag out fights are. So luxury is not getting beat up like it is everywhere else. So that's a good thing. It's going to continue to be strong as long as the stock market is strong. Many people that buy in luxury are buying. They've either sold a house in California and come over with cash and put a great deal down, or paid cash completely and purchased the home. Some people that have a lot of money in stocks and a lot saved, they finance it themselves. So they don't go to a lender. They just do the financing themselves. They borrow from themselves to buy a house that's in the $1 million range. It's very, very common. Not as many international buyers now as we used to. The Canadians definitely aren't coming down. Not seeing a lot of activity coming from China anymore for all the obvious reasons. So most of it is Chicago and California. So it's an interesting market to watch. Now, I did get some questions on Fountain Hills, and let me show you what's available in Fountain Hills. I'm going to share the screen one more time here, and share the screen. So let's pull up this search here, and let's go to Fountain Hills. Outside of McDowell Ranch, Fountain Hills, I think it's got some of the best views in the valley. If you're from out of state and you're looking at this, it's amazing. Here's one here, Palisades Boulevard. There's your view. That's one of the views. Look at that. That's your living room. So that is just fantastic. And that one closed. So let's see what happens here. That was 1.9 million, sold for 1.875. Here's another one, Palisades. There's your view. This one, they were asking 3.5, sold it for 3.15. If we edit and see what's available today instead of closed, we're going to get rid of this, go to active, and you're going to see that there are 25 homes for sale over $1 million. There's more than that that's out there, but 25 homes for sale. Here's one on McDowell Road. Look, that's new construction. Let's change the search and get rid of the $1 million homes. Let's just see what's available in Fountain Hills. There are 65 homes for available from 179. There's a lot of condos up there on up to way above the $3 million mark. Here's a nice condo right here on Gunsight Drive. I say nice. I don't know. I haven't looked at it yet. So there are some condos that in Fountain Hills, you pay for the view. The better the view, the higher the price. It goes same thing with condos. Higher the view, the better the view, the higher the price. This is right downtown Fountain Hills. That one is $499. I remember when those were $199 when I lived out there. And there's another beautiful home. So there's a lot of luxury in Fountain Hills if you're looking for that. I had a comment here. Loved your interview with Mr. Zuber. That guy's a great guy. He's out of Fresno. He's a real estate investor. He's got quite the outlook here. If you look and you start following investors, especially on YouTube, you can find guys that really know what they're talking about, and then a whole bunch of clickbait people. And he's not a clickbait person. He owns an awful lot of rental property, and he feels that we are just going to have a roaring spring, that things are going to be like the roaring 20s and things are going to be great. That really depends on so much right now. This stimulus package, I don't really know how much this is going to stimulate anything. The central banks have said that, we've got to start spending some money out there, and, they're increasing the balance sheet, but they're not getting it out to you and I, except for the $15,000 new home buyers credit that they're trying to put out there. I think universally in the real estate industry, we see that as nothing but a non-starter and an exercise in futility, and it's going to make things worse. I think I heard the best analogy from a YouTuber this morning that said the $15,000 that you're going to give somebody as a home buyer credit is going to eat up what little is remaining in the entry market and make it worse. And it's like saying, I'm going to have the taco truck park in front of your house and the tacos are free and you're already fat. So, but I thought it was a great analogy. I don't need any more tacos. We don't need any incentives to already exasperate too many buyers and not enough inventory. That kind of shows you most times how out of touch government can get. So they're putting programs together that, oh, this looks great, I can get $15,000. Well, you're still not going to get that entry level house. It's just going to help you with some things. So if you're struggling for the down payment, then just keep saving. Don't rely on the government to give you a credit, because there's going to be a cost to that. That grant, somehow there's going to be a cost. It may be in a higher interest rate. That's what most of the down payment assistance programs are now. You're paying like 1% more. Just save or get a gift. Your family can gift you some of the down payment money. And there's a lot of tricks in financing that maybe can help that family get that money back. So there are lender credits that you can get. You can pay maybe a quarter more in interest rates and get some lender credits back to offset in closing costs. You can ask your real estate agent if he's willing to contribute to some of your closing costs. So there are different ways to skin a cat when it comes to offsetting what it costs to get into a home. So are there any questions out there this morning? I had fun yesterday with the first one. I think on the replay, we had 19 people watching it yesterday, and we had almost 200 watching the replay, which I think is pretty good for me. I'm going to down the road. So tomorrow, it's either tomorrow or the next day, we're going to take a deep dive into the historical area of Phoenix. And if you haven't ever been there, looked at the kind of homes that are down there, it's pretty spectacular. But I'm also going to touch on a neighborhood in the historical area that, quite honestly, I don't like it. It's by the state fair, state fairgrounds and everything. So when the state fair's there, everybody's parking in front of your house. It's impossible to get home. The majority of your neighbors are selling parking for $10 on their yard. I just don't care for it. So anyway, thank you very much for tuning in this morning. And we are going to be back tomorrow morning and take another look at the historic area. Thanks, everybody.